Blessings, BookTube from the Rue Balzac. I'm here with a birthday haul and a theme, which is avoiding the slump. Um, so I thought I would be tourist for a day in my own city, and I went to the Temple of the Dawn and this place called Asiatique, or however you would say that without the French accent, Asiatic maybe, but with a Q on the end. QUE. So that place is like a theme park for Chinese tourists, kind of like a mall with no AC. And Temple of Dawn is crawling with folks. They are dressed up. You rent these Thai like costumes, and people, so half the people are dressed up. But it's let's just say I'm glad I live here and I'm not a tourist here because wow, it's tough to be a tourist. A lot of people, a lot of madness. But I had a lovely Turkish dinner. It reminded me of a wonderful birthday I had celebrated in Batumi Resort on the Black Sea coast when I was teaching in Laituri village in Georgia. And I came down from the snowy mountains to the Black Sea coast for my birthday, and we ate in Turkish street and had a lovely time with my friend Kai from South Africa and my friend Sarah from Egypt, and it was a lovely memory. In fact, day full of memories. Right, so I don't know how to do these hauls, but here's what I thought I would talk about. How to avoid a slump. To me, avoiding a slump is all about having many, many books on the go at any given time. When I first arrived here, since I travel with just a carry-on, even when I move countries, I only had about 5 or so books with me, and I gained another 5 or so in the times I was staying in hostels. So those are the 10 books that I had for until the Bangkok Book Fair, which I've had a video about there. And that's when I got a bunch of books that I'm now just about finishing all of them, and just in time to get a bunch of new books. And wouldn't you know it, I hit pay dirt. Let's look first at the books that I got from the book fair, Bangkok Book Fair. So we got We Need New Names, right? That is a very interesting book by a Botswanan author um, who goes by the name No Violet Bulawayo. And I did a video on it, and you can check that out. It was a great book. I enjoyed it. And I also got one of my favorite mystery writers, because I don't know why mysteries always have to involve murder when there's so many things that are mysterious in the world. So I love the Precious Makotsi. What's her last name? Ramotswe. Precious Ramotswe. Mom Ramotswe, who is the head of the number one ladies detective agency, also Botswana. Oh, interesting. Well, maybe the other one's not Botswana. Maybe I conflated my ideas there. Sorry if I gave you the wrong country there, Bulawayo. Anyway, this is definitely Botswana. It says so right here. And this is a mystery, and it's really charming and very. What are the kids calling it now? Cozies, right? I think cozy. I could say that this is. And I did a video on that one as well. You can read. And there's a whole series. I've read 3 or 4 of them. And I got another genre that I didn't start yet. So this was my sort of big book that I was waiting to start after finishing Dragon Reborn, which I am not even halfway through because one of the things that happens is when you have many books on the go, right? Some of the books fall by the wayside, but that's how you avoid this slump, right? If I was only reading Dragon Reborn, I'd be in such a slump because I'm not enjoying it. I suspect that book might still be with me when I move away from Thailand, unfinished. I don't DNF, but some books kind of go into limbo. I'm not enjoying that book at all. Sorry. Anyway, so I'm excited to get to this one. It's a historical. You guys kind of gave me the idea to read more historical fiction. So that's The Eagle's Prophecy by Simon Scarrow, and I don't know anything at all more about it. So if you do, feel free to make a comment. Very funny book. I did a video on this one as well. The sound of the what do they call it? The something girls for slender means, right? The Girls of Slender Means, yeah. So they have this house that they stay in, and this was a very funny book and quick read, and did a video on that one. You can check that out. That was fun. This one I'm only halfway through. It's called The War of Don Emanuel's Nether Parts. I mean, how can you not grab that? I mean, it's amazing. Um, so that one, yeah, I'm about halfway through that one, enjoying that one a lot, by Louis de Bernière, who I did not know before. And I had one classic, um, one of the few that I found in the super cheap. So these were all dollar or whatever they were, which is by C.P. Snow, who I'd never read. It's called The Affair. I'm almost done with this one as well. I was only the last chapter or two, and it is a campus novel, but without the humor. It sounds like it would sound any synopsis would make it sound quite horrible unless you find interdepartmental politics of universities fascinating. But it is interesting. There's a fellow who's dismissed perhaps unfairly, and there's a whole process about figuring out what to do about it. So yeah, enjoying my first taste of CP Snow. I wouldn't say for everybody, but it's good for me. And I also got the Stephen Fry, which I thought would be hilarious because he's quite funny if you've seen him in, PG Wodehouse, uh, Jeeves and Wooster, and all that good stuff. But it's pretty serious. It's his boyhood memoir. He had, difficult boyhood, I would say. Somewhat difficult boyhood. I mean, he was in a public school, which means private school in England. So sort of well off, but he has, I think he's out about his sexuality, has some sexuality issues that he's just coming to now in this part of the book I'm in, which make life a little bit difficult. And also, he's a bit of a lad in terms of a little nimble fingered, likes to steal and stuff like that. So he kind of creates some trouble for himself as well. And yeah, so it's still an interesting read, but not as funny as I hoped it would be. And then, of course, of course, there's no course about it. And then the last one is this short story collection by Ian Moffat called The Electric Jungle, which I remember the blurb just sounded amazing. Dr. Roach from the doomed planet of Stock, Ernest Dark and his Museum of Imagination, Kevin Butcher, the serial killer with a crackling murder map, Walter Perry, gay advertising man, building the lurid Japanese love motel. Doesn't that sound very zany? But it's not that zany. It's a little bit more, the tone, I would say, is a little more heavy. So I don't know if I'm enjoying it or not. And then, of course, it's, some stories more than others. But yeah, so I've got one story left to read in that. So pretty much done with all these books. So, but what you can see there is I don't have a play on the go there, do I? But I've got short stories. I've got a number of different genres. I've got, all different kinds of authors from all over the world. And so at any given time, you want to be reading one or the other of these books. Plus, you're always finishing a book and starting a new book, right? So you have this great, feeling of good energy of like completion as well as excitement for the new. So yeah, so now that I'm almost all done with all those books, for my birthday I got a little cash from the family for buying some books, and I went to my favorite used bookstore and I got so lucky. They had just obviously just gone through two sections of their bookstore and just unloaded half of their books onto the discount table. So I got all these books for about $1 or $2. They went through the classics and the humor section. I mean, my two sections couldn't have been better. So I loaded up, and I could have gotten so many more. There were several of these big fat classics. I limited myself to two. Let me show you the funny ones first. There was this one, an Indian one. So I don't know this comic at all, but I'm guessing I'm going to learn about Indian humor a bit here. From Cyrus Broacha. It's called The Average Indian Male. Excited for that one. And it looks good. And I've read this one before, actually, Dilbert and the Way the Weasel. It's good, but I love the comic strip. People don't realize, people, it's like, why do you like a business, lampoon on business, the business world? Because it's our world. Everything that he's making fun of in here is our reality that needs deflating. It's all about, lying to make sales and, how can I say, the reification, right, of the human subject into their job roles and things of that nature. So I always enjoyed Dilbert. So I got this. I read it. I probably won't reread it, but I got it just for the comics, so I could reread those comics endlessly. I think they're amazing. Maybe a little below Calvin and Hobbes and Far Side, but one of the best. Or Bloom County, it's another great one. This one doesn't look good at all. Oh well, it's a joke book, so those are always pretty much always a bit. But it's I thought at least I'll learn about Singaporean, and I have a Singaporean friend at work, so I want to run some of these by him, and Malaysian jokes. So I'd like to talk with the sluggish reader in Malaysia about some of this humor. About half of it, I would say, is just dumb jokes, dumb old jokes from everywhere, from the world. But there's things in here that definitely I'm like, I don't know what this is referring to. So gonna get a little bit of culture out of it in a pretty painless way, and it's like tiny. But yeah, pretty bad. Can't win them all. This one also, this genre that I got, I didn't know if I wanted to get a mystery or a sci-fi. So when I saw a mystery sci-fi, yes, please. Praise for the Nebula Award winner, The Terminal Experiment, a well-balanced blend of scientific and mystery components, well characterized and plotted, etc. So far, almost all the early chapters are devoted to the horrors of the Holocaust in detail, but with a weird sense of, you're supposed to be, I don't want to say the author's treating it matter-of-factly, but it's flat. It's, I don't know. It's not like Numb. You know how you could be numb faced with horror, right? It doesn't read numb. It reads just kind of flat. And when you're dealing with a matter like that, and also why are we dealing with a matter like that? The only thing so far, I think there might be a female character who it seems like, can read other people's minds. And she's having trouble hooking up because guys have horrible thoughts. So I'm hoping this is going to pick up and be as good as it sounds on the back. But the beginning is a little rough. Right, so my classics. I got this one I paid full price for, $3, because we're reading it for Faulkner in August. So I was like, I couldn't believe I found the exact title in paper. I mean, I could have read it online like I've been doing with all the read-alongs, but I'm so excited to have a paper copy. And I think I've read about half of this before. I've read The Bear for sure, and a couple others sound familiar. But anyway, I'll definitely reread it all this month with everybody and really enjoy that. So super excited to find that. I mean, the store is not that big, but it does have a surprising number of books. However, and almost all in English or French, so I can read almost all that. Some German. It's a lot of beach reads. It's the kind of stuff that tourists bring over, right? So a lot of thrillers, a lot of romance, that kind of stuff. Right, so then I got, for my poet, I got Browning. So I was thinking that I want to read more poetry. I'm starting doing a little bit of my own writing again, and I want to get my writerly brain back in gear to being less prosaic and whatnot. So this is Browning's Major Works, and they also had the exact same kind of thing, this fat Major Works for Tennyson as well. I didn't want to be greedy and take them both, but now I kind of wish I had. Anyway, I chose this one because I know him less than Tennyson. It's the only reason. So I wanted to have poetry and plays. So for the plays, I've got Ben Jonson, 5 plays. I've already read 3 of them, of course, but I think I haven't read the other 2. So that'll be a couple nice plays for me to read. Plays are great. Also, if you're in slumps, they read fast. They're lively, of course, because they're dialogue. There's usually some dramatic action in there to keep you interested. So if you're in reading slumps, always have a play on the go. Always have some poetry on the go. Always have a nonfic on the go. I don't have a nonfiction right now. Oh yeah, I have the Ethiopia guidebook I'm reading. All right, so then I got, I hesitated again. Since I've already read Tristram Shandy and Shyamala, I think, were bundled together. I've already read them both, but I wanted to buy it anyway just for the extra materials. But I thought, no, don't be greedy. Leave something for if another person like me comes along, they'll have some stuff to read, right? So, but I did grab the Canterbury tales, which I have read before. But I thought those will be fun for like some. Definitely do something with you all with the Canterbury Tales. I'm thinking maybe Bullwinkle. Tell me, guys, what you guys think of doing a series based on the fractured fairy tales that they used to have on Bullwinkle. I think I might do something like that. But anyway, so these are the that's a haul. Is that how you do a haul? A big bunch of books. Wait, I'm supposed to show the stack backwards, right? So no one can see the titles or whatever. That is fat. That's ridiculous. Look at the greed. It's my birthday. What the heck? I deserve it. Anyway, that'll keep me going for a little while again, I hope. Until the next Bangkok book fair, maybe? No, probably not. Although I did just complete my 1 year here at work. My teaching load has doubled from about 50 a day to about, no, quadrupled to about 50, quintupled to about 250 students a day now. So it's a little bit harder to get these videos out to you guys, but anyway, here I am in my home, which I'm very grateful for. It's a really nice condo in a really fun city with a lot going on and wonderful people to ties. And hopefully I can make some friends this year. That would be awesome because my coworkers keep leaving me. So bless them. That's it for the haul. And tell me what you think. You know, is this a? I mean, I don't have reader slumps, so there could be many reasons for that, I suppose. But I think one of them is this idea of having lots of books on the go at any given time. I know that you all own a bunch of books because I've seen your bookshelves. So there's no reason you couldn't be doing that all the time if you wanted, which is for me is going to be, a little more challenging. But I'm excited to what do you call those, unhauls, right? I'm excited to find homes for this stack of books that I've just finished. I'm hoping I can find some people. I heard about a couple in-person book groups, and I'm hoping I can give some people craving books here in Bangkok some really good reads. Which almost all of those were. That's another thing I've noticed is that I like almost everything that I read, and there are a lot of booktubers who read a lot of stuff that they don't like. Maybe I'll have to have a little video on that as well at some point. It seems just so strange to me. All right, folks. Well, happy birthday to me. Thanks for sharing it with me. Thanks for being my best company. And we'll talk again soon.